I wish I could say good morning. I know this space is kind of small in here, so I really appreciate this last-minute press conference. And if everybody is ready, just give me a thumbs up and we can start. I want to make sure we're fair. Okay. So, of course, you all have heard the news, and it is extremely disappointing. The City of Oakland has, for years, worked to come to an agreement to keep the A's rooted here in the City of Oakland. And on many occasions, we were able to overcome seemingly insurmountable barriers, and we showed our commitment to the team and its fans over and over again. In 2021, the A's asked the city to form an infrastructure financing district for the project. And we did that. We not only did that, we got Alameda County to participate as well, nearly doubling the funding availability for public infrastructure, parks, and affordable housing. And in 2021, the A's asked the city to raise nearly $360 million to fund off-site infrastructure. Well, the city rose to that challenge and raised more than $375 million, with another estimated $100 million in the works. In 2021, the A's asked us to certify an EIR for the project. We not only did that, but we were able to successfully defend it in court. In 2022, the A's asked us to engage with BCDC after an initial failed vote on this project. We once again successfully intervened and helped achieve a final 23-2 vote in favor of the project. Time and again, the city stepped up to the challenge and succeeded. I took office in January and immediately sought to jumpstart the process, building on the groundwork that was already set by Oakland's many successes. I met with the A's ownership soon after taking office, and with the A's agreement, we engaged a neutral mediator to help the parties come together. I made clear that the city wanted to work with the A's, me being very mindful of our more than $300+ million budget deficit and the need to protect taxpayer dollars. Based on the A's desire to achieve certainty in 2023, we laid out a detailed and specific plan to bring the project forward to a city council vote by this summer. But unfortunately, it has become clear that we are not able to reach an acceptable terms, and that the A's have not been engaged as good partners in these efforts. At every opportunity, the A's have made increasing demands on Oakland. And at every opportunity, we have risen to the challenge and overcome the hurdles placed before us. Instead of working with us, they have announced a land deal in another city. And I want to be very clear. This announcement happened mid-negotiations, and it shows that they had no interest in reaching a deal with Oakland at all. Oakland is not interested in being used as leverage in the A's negotiations with Las Vegas. And it is disrespectful to our residents and our fans to string the city along this way. We will not continue discussions under these circumstances and will instead work for a development deal that actually creates opportunities for Oaklanders and includes partners that are committed to the success of our city, our communities, our residents, and our businesses. Thank you all. And if you will raise your hand, I will call upon you for questions or legal.
Can I just say that Councilmember Dan Kaval, I have to go to Rules Committee. The things I want to say you can't print and you can't put on the air, so I just want to support what the very diplomatic words that the mayor said, and just I'll leave it at that. Councilmember Fife of the district is here. I'm going to go to Rules Committee. Sorry. Thank you for all being here.
I just also want to say that I fully concur with the mayor, and I'm so happy for your leadership and putting Oakland first in terms of our residents. And I also have to attend the Rules Committee meeting, so I will be leaving. But your statement was exactly what our residents needed to hear, and that my constituents in the district where this project was happening needed to hear. And I thank you for your leadership. All right, go ahead.
Mayor, we were all here a few months ago when your predecessor said in her last press conference that she felt she was leaving you with the bases loaded to complete a deal. Could you just describe the handoff between her administration and yours, and clarify exactly when you realized that Kathy and his team were sort of using Oakland as leverage?
Absolutely. You know, there were many successes, as I've already stated in the in my statement. And so coming in, we have an amazing team. Betsy Lake and Molly, amazing team. And to your question around when was the moment that I noticed that the A's were just using the city of Oakland to leverage? 6 p.m. last night when I received a phone call from Dave Kaval. That is when, the moment.
Could you tell us about what that phone call was like? What did you both talk about?
Heads up, we have a land deal in Las Vegas in mid-negotiations. The closest we've ever been to landing a deal.
The Warriors are gone, the Raiders are gone, and with the A's gone, you are now on your watch going to be mayor of a minor league city. Your reaction?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the possibility of Howard Terminal, and again, working in partnership to bring something that's going to be focused and invested in Oaklanders. You know, people can say, on my watch, X, Y, Z. However, I'm not selling out the city of Oakland. Like I stated, we have a $300+ million deficit. We were the closest we have ever been to sealing the deal, and I get a very disappointing phone call that while we were in negotiations, we did not have fair partnership in those negotiations, essentially.
Mayor,
Back here. Sorry, back here. And then
So, Mayor, what's the future of the Coliseum side? We're hearing that obviously the A's may have a stake in that land even if they do go to Vegas. So what's the future going forward with that side?
So that's a partnership with the county as well too, with the city. And so, you know, we're leaving all of our options open, and you know, we're going to have many discussions around that.
Mayor, is there anything that you think that the city could have done differently to make sure that the A's stay here in Oakland?
Well, there's many things that I feel could have done differently, including bargaining in good faith from the A side. We came to the table and we said we were not going to negotiate through the media. We agreed on that, and this is why you saw we were very quiet. However, working on negotiations in one city where you're home base, and then doing what you're doing in Las Vegas, and then calling me at 6 p.m. saying that we have a land deal without letting me know that there was a parallel track, that's a bit disingenuous.
I have a question. This will mean, especially how expensive it is to live in Oakland, this will mean like a lot of people without a job, the vendors, you know, the people that, you know, move the food to the stadium, clean the stadium, and even tourists will be hit. How are you going to do to help those folks that, you know, will struggle now?
Well, let's be clear. This is seasonal, right? The jobs that you're speaking of with the Oakland A's are seasonal, and we are excited for future development at Howard Terminal. Just because, you know, the deal with the Oakland A's may not be moving forward, that doesn't mean we leave the land empty. This is an opportunity for the city of Oakland, and all of our options are open.
Mayor, are you worried this will signal that Oakland is not able to make big deals happen, especially given that the city is now trying to find someone to fill Howard Terminal?
I'm not. That's not what exemplifies at all. What exemplifies is that Oakland will not be bullied. That's what exemplifies.
The negotiations between the city of Oakland and the A's have been going on a long time. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of brinkmanship. At one point, we thought they were going to move to Fremont. There's been a lot of this for a long time. Do you believe the deal is definitively done, or is the door still open a little bit?
That is a terrific question, and to your point, it's been what it looks like from the outside that they've always wanted to leave the city of Oakland. Again, the ball is in their court. They're the ones who called me and said they had a land deal in Las Vegas. So if they would like to call me back to say that we can negotiate, I'm more than happy to take that phone call.
Mayor, jump off of this question. Maybe is it time to rethink what Oakland is? Maybe, it's not a city that has the corporate base or the fan base to support a major league franchise. We have the Roots and other clubs here. Are you considering that? Maybe right-sizing Oakland.
Terrific question as well. All of the options are open.
And who's at fault here? What's responsibility does the city take for this deal falling apart?
Well, I gave you the direct timeline of everything that's happened. And I can tell you we were in mid-negotiations, meeting every single day since last week, right? Because we were very close to closing it. And then I get a call at 6 p.m. yesterday saying they have a land deal. So I'll allow for you to decide who's at fault.
Mayor, if you guys were that close, do you think there was something that happened within those negotiations that pushed them over the edge to take that land deal with Vegas?
Absolutely not. We had a mediator, actually a mediator that they agreed on and we'd agreed on, a mediator that they know closely, who's close to them. And so, it's definitely not that. Absolutely not.
So they're saying they're not going to move till 2027. Their lease here in Oakland does not last that long. Where does that leave you guys in terms of, are you, they're bailing on you? Are you guys willing to let them continue to play there? Is that raise the cost, or do you just tell them find somewhere else?
All the options are on the table. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Part of the situation was that the development deal and the team apparently somehow snookered you. And support supporters didn't want to hear anything about this. What makes you think that you can develop a court now that they've in effect beaten you on this deal?
Well, I wouldn't say beaten us on this deal. However, I would say that legally, it's been challenged, right? Building on Howard Terminal. And again, we succeeded in that debate. And so we can move forward and build on Howard Terminal.
Have you had any conversations with Ray Bobbitt, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, about what their interactions would be like with the A's moving forward? They're obviously a community-rooted group, and we're seeing now a billion-dollar franchise that doesn't necessarily want to be here. What, if anything, would you advise this group on in terms of moving forward?
I just look forward to speaking with AASEG and how we can partner moving forward. Obviously, those partnerships expand to, yes, the Oakland A's too at the Coliseum site and also with the county as well too. So there are many players in that conversation.
What assurances had Oakland given the A's that it was going to meet its end of the year deadline?
Say that again, sorry.
I'm sorry. What assurances had Oakland given the A's that it was going to meet its end of the year deadline, was my understanding?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Meeting at their beck and call every day until 8 p.m. every day. We were on track. We had a work plan, and we were meeting those deadlines.
Was there something that the A's asked for that the city was not able to deliver on?
That's a great question. I will defer actually to my team.
A blank check.
Do you want to come up here and say that? Okay. Yes, Darren.
You said the A's, Kaval and A's have been disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
So if they called you back like 6 months from now and were like, Vegas is not happening, we want to talk again, why would you entertain that? Like, tons of people don't think that they've been, genuinely interested in working with the city. Why accept talks again? You said earlier you would. Why?
But you gave the timeline of 6 months. I don't know what the timeline is here in regards to the city and how, I'm always willing to engage in those conversations. The question around why, because I do believe that there are so many fans out there who do believe that the Oakland A's should stay rooted here in the city of Oakland. And I do understand the value that it brings as well too. However, if we can't negotiate in good faith and have good partners, that becomes problematic, and that is why we're here today. And so, again, they walked away from from the negotiation table, and if they're willing to come back. Obviously, there is a time scale and timeline to the opportunity of when that availability continues to exist. I can't tell you today what it looks like, what that looks like. It could be 3 months, it could be 3 days, I don't know. But you know, we welcome them. If they wanted to call me today, I would take their phone call.
Mayor, you mentioned you had that phone call yesterday. How long was that call, and was there a moment where you were saying, let's keep this negotiating, let's not walk away yet, or was it a pretty definitive, short call?
So the call was pretty short. And when you get a call saying we're going to sign and we found land in Las Vegas and we're going to sign, that's pretty definitive to me. It doesn't sound like I had a say in it. I was told the facts after the matter.
Do you think, Mayor, that that's just business? That's just a business operation trying to leverage the city, and that's just part of the deal?
Well, it's, you know, I think that it's about respect. I think it's about respect, and it's about being honest partners. You know, we were in full-on negotiations, and if there was respect and if there was transparency, you know, they could have had that conversation, said we're doing a dual track and this is what we're doing on this side while we're negotiating with you. That conversation was not had.
You mentioned the $300+ million for off-site infrastructure. Does that have to be given back to the sources of that, or can that be used to prime the pump for something else at Oakland?
Those funding does not go back. It is actually funding for infrastructure that is so needed here in the city of Oakland. This will also help with, you know, keeping our pedestrians or bicyclists safe as well too. And so that's funding that the city of Oakland, that my great staff have worked hard to actually receive. And so we are excited to implement those dollars. Thank you.
Two of the conditions you really wanted to take into negotiations when you took office were a guarantee of some degree of affordable housing, as well as stationing local vendors who could sell concessions at this eventual ballpark. To what extent were the A's receptive to those conditions?
Actually, you know, I cannot answer that question. Maybe if my team feels comfortable answering that question.
I think I would say that our council was extremely clear on what was required for the deal. There was a resolution that was passed in February 2022 that laid out all of the community benefits that the city was expecting.
This is all good and well, but this is the 13. I mean, is everybody else at fault except the city of Oakland?
Is everybody what? Say that again?
Everybody else at fault except the city of Oakland?
I never stated that. I wouldn't know what my predecessor, what the conversations look like with my predecessor. I do know what my conversations and how hard my team has worked in regards to closing in on a deal with the Oakland A's. And again, this is the closest we've ever been to closing a deal with the Oakland A's. And again, it was that 6 p.m. phone call while we're in negotiations that we received that they have decided to do and go somewhere else.
How do you think this will affect the city's ability to attract other development when the city does not have the good track record lately of building big things? Army Base stalled, Kaiser Hospital, Kaiser site, slow to develop. What do you say to developers who want to come here and say, or want a major league city? How does it affect them?
I don't believe that this city is defined by Major League Baseball. I think that this city is defined by its great people, its great culture, its great weather, and many other things and aspects. I do believe that when developers are here, they will understand the value of what it means to be here located in the city of Oakland. And under this administration, we are working really hard to ensure that developers can be fast-tracked if the development makes sense for the city, right? And so we're not going to sell out the residents and the businesses in the city of Oakland and give all the money that we do not have to one Major League Baseball team.
This happened about 25 years ago on the other side of the bay, where San Francisco thought, oh, we've lost the Giants. Is there an opportunity here for a local ownership group to step up and save this project, save this team?
I really love all your questions today. I would say absolutely, and we're open to all opportunities. All opportunities. Mm-hmm.
I know that Supervisor Miley would also like to make a statement.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure. there were a lot of headlines as the A's season got started about how it was being outsold by minor league teams, and then the fans were actually planning a reverse boycott where they were all going to flood the stadium in June to show that Oakland can in fact support a major franchise. As the A's finish out their lease, what relationship, what would you encourage from the community when it comes to interacting with this institution that's going to be headed out the door?
You know, what I've learned about sports team and the Oakland A's fans is that they're going to do what they're going to do. And so, you know, I'm just going to leave it up to them. Yeah. Awesome. I know that Supervisor Nate Miley would like to say a few words. The supervisor is here.
Nate?
Yeah.
Is he back there?
Any other questions for the mayor? As I said, our team can stick around and answer background.
A question from a pure fan standpoint. There's no teams to be rooting for fans here or to be supporting the sports team in Oakland. What is your message to Oakland residents who are purely fans of these teams, the Raiders and the Warriors who have left, and really about, well, there's nothing here in the city for us to really root for?
Yeah. Well, I want to remind everyone that we still have a professional soccer team, the Oakland Roots, and the Oakland Soul is here as well too. But to the Oakland A's fans, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I know it's hurtful. Just know that the leadership here and the staff here at the City of Oakland, we did everything that we can, and it was not our decision to walk away from the negotiations table. We've been negotiating night and day, living and breathing these negotiations ever since I was elected and took this office. And again, highly disappointed as well too. And so I know Supervisor Nate Miley is here, would like to say a few words. Supervisor Nate Miley, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor Thao. Yes, this is as County Supervisor, President of the Board of Supervisors, very, very sad with this announcement from the Oakland A's that they have purchased land in Las Vegas and are entertaining a move there, leaving Oakland. You know, I'm sad because, you know, I haven't been on the City Council, a resident of Oakland, an A's fan. We've lost 3 sports teams, the Warriors, the Raiders, and the A's. But as the mayor pointed out, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. I know the city has entered into a disposition and development agreement with the African American Sports and Entertainment Group. I think it's an opportunity for revitalization. It's an opportunity to move ahead with potentially a WNBA team, working closely with the Roots. You know, in fact, we've had a very successful year out of the Oakland Arena, despite the fact that the Warriors are no longer there. So I see this as an opportunity, and the door's not shut. I'm not privy to all the negotiations that the city is undertaking, but the door's not shut. All is not lost. And if the A's do, in fact, go, they go, and we'll make the best of that and we'll move forward. And that's about all I have to say at the moment. Thank you.